What did you just say? Play it up or play it down?
That's what you said?
No. How's everyone doing? I'm Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out our channel. Yeah. I said, so we come up with these subject matters a lot of times. We think about them. A lot of them we do off the cuff, or I come in here with suggestions. We're trying totally different ideas and concepts lately. So I got my co-host Robert Benenati.
Hey, guys.
I do a lot of different independent podcasts on different subject matters regarding dating, relationship advice, trying to help men find women or the woman of their dreams. And in this case, I asked him across the room, and obviously he didn't even know what I was talking about, and he came over here and jumped in the seat. What I'm going to talk about is men having a problem dating up, I call it. And, or it's called dating up or down. And I think a lot of men...
Did you come up with this?
I think I might have heard this a long time ago from somebody. I heard dating down, not dating up. So they're like, do you date someone? And it may not have even been worded like that. Like, a lot of men like to date somebody.
I was confused.
A lot of men like to date women, I believe, that they think they're superior to. Right? So they will date down in their mind. Like, they're dating somebody who's not as educated, not as wealthy. Somebody maybe they have more control over. A lot of men
That's what it's about.
Yeah,
Control.
so when you're dating up would be obviously to a certain degree. Dating somebody who's more, intelligent than you maybe to a certain degree, or has a better education, has more money maybe than you, a better job, somebody who's sophisticated, cultured. But a lot of men are afraid to go that route. They either want somebody kind of equal or, in their opinion, less. Mm-hmm. So... maybe they use money as leverage. I'm just saying, maybe they use whatever they use. But when you get around intelligent, beautiful women, like your wife, let's say, for instance, who's very educated, cultured, bilingual, maybe she speaks more than 2 languages, I don't know, and has their shit together, like you were interested in somebody kind of not only similar to you, but somebody who has their shit together.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this is going to kind of be about.
Got it. Okay.
What's your opinion of that?
Well, like you said, if you date down, right, this is about control. This is about feeling macho, right?
Yeah, when we say date down, we don't want to hurt anybody here and say, listen, just because you don't make money, you're not valued or you're not as educated as anybody. So just women or anybody out there, we're just saying...
date down based on your opinion about that person.
Yeah, we all...
It's not across the board. It just depends on the guy. And let's see it from a guy's perspective, because we're guys, right? So the question is, would you date up or down? That's the question.
Kind of.
Right?
It's kind of... And just because a woman doesn't make as much money as you, I don't want to say like she's beneath anybody or she's not as educated or any of these things or at a certain point in her life.
Well, the guy's creating dependency on him.
Yes, and
right.
I think a lot of men like that.
And they like that, right? They like to be the provider, the protector.
Yep.
Right? So think about it. How can you protect a woman that's smarter than you, makes more money than you? She doesn't need you.
Exactly.
To a certain point, right? And that's how I think guys see it. Oh, they don't need me. They could leave me at any given time because they don't need me.
Yep.
And they got it wrong, I think.
I do too.
They got it wrong because a woman still needs not that I don't want to use the word need, because we complement each other, basically. So if you're a cool guy, right? Let's say you feel inferior to a certain degree because you're making less than her or whatever the case is, right? If you're an interesting guy,
mm-hmm.
right? Funny,
yep.
You keep that spark going, then
mm-hmm.
you should be fine. There's nothing to worry about because that's what they want. It's not about the money.
I couldn't agree more.
Now, then again, it depends on the woman. There's women that like to be dependent. There's women that like to be
of course.
taken care of. And there's, like we have alpha guys, we have alpha women.
Yeah.
Right? They're just drivers. They just, A-type. They're the ones, going up the corporate ladder or, in business or entrepreneurs. They just have that in them.
Yep.
It doesn't make a guy inferior. Listen, if you're, even if you have, like you say, someone, if a guy has someone inferior, that woman could leave you if you're just an ass. You know, if you're an a-hole, you know, it doesn't matter if you got more money or more, you know, you're providing or whatever. She's going to get tired of you eventually.
Yeah.
So that doesn't promise that she's going to stay around. She's going to stick around, you know? So that's what I'm saying. It's the wrong mentality. You know, if you're a guy, again, if you're funny, you're sensitive to them, you treat them well, then there's no reason why a woman that's wealthier or, you know, financially stable or you feel superior is going to leave you.
I think a lot of men date certain women that they know have problems for leverage sometimes, especially if it's financial, let's say, or something like that maybe. But then what's funny is when they break up with this type of woman or that girl, they talk about all the problems and baggage that they brought, right? When they already knew that.
Well, I think that comes from a psychology point. I think that comes from a guy that was raised in the same type of household where the dad and the mom had that relationship.
Could be.
So
yeah,
it's what's called, that's familiar to him.
Yes.
Not that he likes or dislikes that, but it's familiar. And because it's familiar, he knows how to survive in that circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Like women that end up with maybe a abusive husband, you know, or alcoholic. It's most likely because her father was abusive to the mom or alcoholic, that they kind of stick with that because it's familiar to them. And they know how to deal with it. They just know how to, again, it
navigate
just
through that.
Yeah.
I think, too...
I think they would be afraid of or wouldn't know how to handle a guy that would be... that would take care of her.
I got you.
She'll probably feel out of place or, you know, I don't know.
I think guys have to understand, especially say they're an entrepreneur, someone like yourself, whatever. When dating somebody, why not date somebody or just be interested or even become friends with somebody who's much more successful than you? Or meet women, I'm just saying if you're looking for a relationship, somebody who's maybe in business again that knows what they're talking about and that can help you. So if you're dating this person, I'm not saying you got to go into business together, but you're with somebody who's successful. You're somebody who's got maybe more connections than you, somebody who can educate you. But a lot of men do not do this. They're intimidated. What's interesting, though, if you look sometimes with work, because, like, say I go to all these conventions, right?
I don't know if what you're talking about, matching work and matching your status, has to do anything with the type of
No, I'm saying if you're single,
partner that you want.
Say you're single, okay?
Maybe I don't want someone in the corporate business. Maybe
you
I don't want
have
an
to,
entrepreneur, right? So that's why I'm not looking for someone like that. Maybe.
Well, a lot may not even realize that that's what they're looking for, but they've always dated somebody who's not like that, if that makes sense. I'll just give you for example, I had somebody who's single, is starting a business, and he keeps saying he has a problem with all these different types of women. And my number one thing a lot of times is find the type of woman you want. Obviously, put yourself at the right place at the right time.
Sometimes they don't know what they want.
Well, I'm like, why don't you start going around people in your industry, right? And networking with people, even if it's on LinkedIn, that are very successful. Or if you're going on a dating website or app, stop going to Tinder and looking just for somebody local or meeting people in your local pub or bar. Not saying that's a bad thing to do. Find some really successful women that are single. Why not even just go on dates with them? A lot of men are intimidated because I think, one, they're thinking, I can't afford to live up to the standards of maybe their lifestyle. There's a lot of very wealthy women I know that are single. I get hit up more by women now, and I just talked to one today. I was on a Zoom call, and there was like two other that said, Rich, and these are corporate women that are very successful. Rich, if you find the right guy, will you introduce me to him? Like one's in California, another one's in Georgia, and two are in South Florida. These are older women. And I've even introduced them to other gentlemen that I know are single, just for networking. The guys most likely shit in the pants. They immediately shit in the pants when they find out that how successful these women are.
I can see that happening now.
Yeah, and I think, especially if my theory was I wanted to be around, I'll be very honest, the most beautiful, intelligent woman. Like, that's really why my ex-wife, that's unbelievably educated. She's a machine. Even who I date now, Rhea, very educated, speaks different languages, knows how to, not only incredible at home, in business. She even helped me write my book, help create my programs, helps me educate me on so many different levels. I don't think a lot of men want that. Or they want it and they're afraid to go after it. That's my point.
I see that.
You see what I'm saying kind of with that one?
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short, guys. Listen, a lot of times that's...
then they complain why they're in a predicament, right? If they are.
Yeah, well, let's put it this...
The type of girl they're with is not really what they need.
Yeah, and a lot of women, too, I think, sometimes that are very successful, will date down as well. I'd hate to say it because they want to nurture somebody or care for somebody, or maybe they, a lot of times they'll maybe settle. And I'm like, you don't have to do that.
Well, the thing is,
you could date whoever you want.
It's going to kind of be a battle, a war between both of them. Who could do more? Who could do,
Yes.
Trying to outdo each other versus just complement each other and build upon that.
Yeah.
I think you have to be very open-minded, right?
Yes.
Very educated, have open communication, and understand each other. Listen, we're here together. You do you, I do me. We could do it together and just keep building on it, right?
Yeah. I'm back to a lot of guys I know, they're intimidated by, say, city girls, right? Or just hanging out with certain types of women, thinking again. It's kind of a reverse gold digger. First, they complain about women that don't have much, that want them for their money, and they're like, I don't want this gold digger. This girl, right? Then if there's a wealthier girl, they're like, I got to make tons of money too. I'm not going to support her lifestyle. That's their mindset a lot of times. I'm like,
right.
Dude.
Reverse gold digger?
Yeah. I'm like, you don't understand. She don't need your money. See, that's where they get confused. Yeah, but if she goes on a date, she's going to expect to go somewhere nice. You're not going to take her to a shit joint. She's not going to meet you at some local bar and do a one-off maybe.
Right.
I'm just saying, she's going to maybe want to travel.
Now you got to make money to pay for that. Those hotels and those expensive restaurants.
Right, that's how they're thinking. But a lot of times even, you don't have to do that at the beginning. You can just meet with them, network with. If they like you, they're going to make it work out. I'm just saying, because there's a lot of lawyers, doctors, nurses.
And that's all assumptions. It doesn't mean that
it's all bullshit.
A successful girl wouldn't want to go to a cool pub that,
Of course.
That it's not expensive. They just want to have a good time.
And
that's where I'm going to. If you could show them a good time, you could be the spark. You could be interesting.
You're fun and interesting.
That's it. That's what they're looking for.
Do you know how many women out there that are lawyers, doctors? And I mean, there's so many women out there that are very successful, that do not need your money, that are single, that can really maybe take you to places as a couple that you've never been to before. You're a lot of times just looking at that person saying, that's an expense.
Dude, and what's the worst that could happen? You date her for a while and, you experience things differently. And if it works out, fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Because you could date down and still not work out.
We're back to dating out there. You say date down. I'm just kidding.
Date down, date up. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Just go up.
Just how about meet people that are maybe different than what you met before? If you keep falling into the same situation with the same type of woman, it may be time to make a change. And a lot of that, I believe, and believe me, I'm not saying educated women or wealthier women are any better than any other woman. But what I am saying is a lot of times they're successful for a reason. A lot of times, right? I'm just saying they have their shit together. And anyways, that's my 2 cents regarding that. And look at you and your wife. You were both in real estate, right? When you met, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. I mean, that's a different thing where you kind of, you meet somebody and you're in the same industry. And I don't know, when you got married, did you help one another? Obviously, I would think so. Yeah. Right? You're both bilingual. And, there's a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? You didn't want to, I don't want to say date down. You weren't looking to date up. You just met somebody and it really works.
It was a good fit, yeah.
Make it fit is what we're trying to say.
Fit it.
It fits. All right, let's wrap it up there. If you got any questions or comments, hit me up. My website's masteringselfconfidence.com. Like I said, I try to help men find the woman or women of their dreams. Robert does not. He plays racquetball, and he runs a real estate company. So he's on the opposite end of the spectrum. But, yeah, I'm at richcelenza.com as well. All right, everyone, take care.